Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Derek Rise here. If you didn't know, I dropped a new project. It's called Blurrz. It has 20 songs, and we're gonna go into that a little bit today. So, as you can see, 20 songs, 56 minutes, which is crazy because I remember when we were talking about the music earlier on, and we finally hit like an hour on our just creating content um, playlist, and we hit an hour put together with like me, John, and Dill, Broke Mata and Jay Dilly. So like we were just like flabbergasted that we had an hour of music already, and now I just dropped a whole hour long project pretty much. So that's really cool. And not only that, that playlist has grown since the little story I just told you. So like make sure you do go find that playlist because it's all our music combined into one. And if you ever listen to it all the way through or anything like that, it's so cool. It's really cool. Anyway, let's get into it. We'll start with the cover art. The cover art is actually a picture my girlfriend Ashley took at a bachelorette party. And she was kind of like, she's drinking and stuff like that, but she took this random picture. And she said, you should use this for like a cover art or something. This is cool. And I looked at him like, yeah, that'd be really dope. As far as like the title, that doesn't really have any true crazy meanings behind it. I just thought it looked cool for one. But for two, the reason I went with Blurrz is because a lot of these songs here are literally blurs to me. I mean, I don't remember a lot of them. You know what I mean? I do remember it, obviously, but like I can't. I don't know. Like I've made a lot of music. I mean, you see 20 songs, but maybe I made 60. I don't really know how many I've made, but I did know that the vault was getting filled up, and I just wanted to not really filled up. There's no limit, I guess, but I just wanted to take what I had and get it out there. And now I'm at a clean, fresh state. I don't know if there's anything in the vault that I do want to drop. I mean, there might be a couple, and I might be forgetting about some too, but um, yeah, just not really sure if there's anything to drop or that's drop worthy. I would have to go through it again, but at the same time, I'm just glad that I got to drop all this stuff so that like this next one that I moved forward to, like it's just leveled up because this was a process of like I think I was thinking like 6 months, but I don't know. I think Be Involved. We dropped that as a little music video a while back. I think that might have been even longer than 6 months, but I can't recall. So but a lot of these definitely were made a while back. And then I had to do some final touches because the thing is from like back then till now I even got that much better on the mixing and mastering and stuff like that. And I know this thing isn't really perfect or anything. 1 second. All right. I know it's not perfect or anything like that. I think it's rough around the edges, but I also do like that in a day and age where a lot of music is like super perfect. Not saying that I don't want mine perfect because I do, but I think I can stand out a little bit by just being raw and stuff like that. And it's actually, I don't know, like I don't know, it's just a lot of work. What was I saying, dude? I'm such an idiot, actually. Um, yeah, let me just think. All right, let's just move forward. I guess in a day and age where like people are using heavy auto tune and all that kind of stuff, I could stick out in that aspect. But not only that, there is like people using AI for music, is what I've heard, and I've heard like a Drake song using AI. I've had people say that I use AI for my music, and it's like, dude, that's ridiculous, dude. First of all, the sound would be a lot better, I believe. And not only that, lyric wise, I don't know how to prove that other than you guys just come to my studio, take away my phone, take away everything that I have, give me a piece of paper and a pen, and then give me a beat, and I bet I'll write something, you know what I mean? And it'll be to my caliber, because that's just my caliber of lyricism, you know? And if you really want to question it, just go back to my High Rise account, High Rise Raps on SoundCloud, and go listen to that. That was before any of the shit, like, nobody ever heard of fucking AI back then, you know what I mean? Just go listen to that stuff, and then tell me, like, factor in, like, how many years from that, and see, like, do you think that, you know, like, because my lyrics weren't even that bad back then. The music wasn't that great, I guess, and stuff like that, but, like, just go back to that, listen to it, and just see if, like, if I'm the same person, because it pretty much is, you know? Don't want to spend too much on that, because it's a waste of time, you know? All I know is I'm not using it, and I just like my music. I do actually genuinely enjoy my music, you know? Otherwise, why would I make it? I make it for myself first, and then I put it out there. And then that's when people can just take it and say whatever they want, which is fine, you know? I like that people have opinions and different tastes. The world would be super boring if we didn't have different tastes and stuff like that. Well, let's get right into it, too. Song number 1, Wait on Me, Look Back. I don't even know. I didn't really prepare on what I was going to say about these things, because I don't really want to dive into all 20 songs here, but I will maybe touch on a couple or something. How about I want you guys to go listen to it. It's too early. I want you guys to go listen to these and see how it feels for you guys. I do know that I will highlight a couple that were, like, new. The newest ones that I made on this list is Living Right. That's, like, super new. Don't Care What You Say is super new. And I don't see any new ones. Like, they're all pretty much old. Seventh Inning Stretch is new. I even say it in there. I just really like the beat, and I just knew that was, like, a cool song, and I had this idea of, like, you know, the beat was just so vibey, and I just wanted to have that part of the project, because I feel like when I put these things together, I try to make it an experience, and I just think that lightens it up a little bit. And it's just kind of like a vibe. If you listen to this project and that comes on, you'll see what I mean. But Seventh Inning Stretch, thought that was pretty clever, because it's the 7th song, you know, and I'm a baseball fan, so let's see. And it's funny, because if you go, like, this one is, like, reminds me of escapism. I get a lot of escapism vibes. If you guys heard that from me, that was the project before this one. It was a 4-song project. At the time, I thought it was the best thing I ever did, and I still truly do love that project. But you can see in this song that it does have some of that escapism flavor, so you know that around that escapism time, I probably made this song. Get a Grip was a while ago. We'll talk about Boba Fett. This song, I also am a Star Wars fan. I'll just say that, get that off my chest, you know. I named it, you'll see that Bob is capitalized, right? So I have the SoundCloud account that doesn't really get much traction, and it's fine, because I want it to be low-key for those low-key dimes, but I did take my song off of that and threw it on this project, because I thought the vibe fit, and as I listened to this song, it really grew on me a lot. I don't know why I like it. I think lyrics wise, at the time when I made that, it was probably some of my, like, best stuff. Like, I surprised myself with it. Only Real Ones, that's a new one too. I don't know if did I say that? I'm not really sure, but that one brings up the pace a little bit. I know I have this lazy, hazy, like, feel of, like, style of rap, mostly because I'm just fucking lazy, honestly, and you know, sometimes intoxicated, you know, and when you're, uh, I don't know, you get different vibes on different days, and that's what it is. But Only Real Ones, I like it because I did bring up the pace a little bit. I uh, didn't really sacrifice penmanship to bring the vibe up or anything like that. I don't know if it's like the best lyrics that I ever had, but that's not really what the point is about the song. I think the hook is where it really strong, where it, you know, we the only real ones left, we the only real ones left, you know, that kind of shit. I think uh, I would picture myself, you know, this is it. Like, I thought about it. Like, if I ever had a show and I have all these songs that are not upbeat and stuff like that, I just don't know if my show would be that good. So I'm trying to add a little bit more stuff that has some upbeat and stuff. Now, I'm not too worried about most of that because even if I had a nonchalant, lazy type of rap on a beat, I know for a fact that I can bring up the energy in a live show. I'm not gonna say it exactly how the song sounds. I would, instead of being like blah 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 blah, I'd be like blah 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 blah. You know. So I know there's a world where you can still do that. It's just that I wanted something that was more natural too, and then like a living right, I could easily do that at a show and sound exactly the same as I do live. And that's one thing I mean, I understand because performance is totally separated from the actual. It's a art on its own, but it's like separated from the actual art. Like one thing when I was growing up and I went to live shows and stuff, I would hear a song, and at the time I didn't really understand like why they're not saying it like they say it in the how they recorded it, and now I kind of understand that. Like I super understand that actually. But it would bum me out because it's like this isn't how it sounds, and it's not that they're bad live or anything. It's just you have to keep the energy high in a live show. You know, you can't just go out there being a bum. So, um, why I think this is like a movie type experience. There's no actual real, what would it be called? Hmm. It's a mixtape. Okay, there's no. It's not an album. It's not a concept. It's nothing like that. It's just a mixtape. So it is pretty random. But how I put it in order, I thought this would vibe really good. And why I think it's a movie is because it's 20 songs of months, you know, stacked into one project, and I love that. It kind of touches on different spots of where how I was feeling, what I was doing, whatever, like that kind of shit. Um, and yeah, sorry, I need some caffeine or something. I'm tired, but Pocket Full of Posies. That's another one that came from my Bob account, this alter ego type thing. Uh, but I just knew that Pocket Full of Posies wasn't necessarily like an alter ego. It was like real feelings and real emotion, and I liked how I sang in it, but a lot of people might not. Like I said before in past videos, I'm not a great singer. I just know how to use my voice, and I try to use my voice in the best that I can use it. We got Be Involved though. I definitely would recommend this one to you guys. You should check that one out. That one got a little bit more remastered too. I went back into it and made it a little bit better since the time it dropped on YouTube as a video. I think you can hear what we're saying a little bit better, and it just, I don't know, I think it hits better. Fish Basket, that actually, I don't know if you guys know, but I know like when people listen to these things, they just kind of like skip through them and skim and stuff. This one, I'm going to tell you one thing, this project is not skim, you shouldn't skim through this one. It's either don't listen to it or like really give it the time that it needs. You know, maybe you find good songs that you like and then you go to that, but at least give the whole thing one listen, like headphones, go be secluded a little bit and just actually vibe. You know, maybe smoke a little bit, whatever you got to do, get on that on your vibe and stuff like that. Just try to give it like a real true experience. What was I saying though? Fish basket. The reason I'm saying don't skim is because you might not know this, but there's two beats like in this one song. The second one, I kind of bring up the pace, the level a little bit, and go off more rapping again, kind of like you saw in like Real Ones and Living Right, a little bit more energy. But I do have that nonchalant whatever in the first half, you know. And shout out to Broke Mata because he actually came up with the idea to put those two raps together, and I love it. And we actually sat here. We were in Discord, so like we don't always work in the studio together because everybody has their own lives going on. We try to because it's so much more organic and natural. But it's we made music with each other for years, so over Discord I just share my screen with them, live stream it, and we hit the studio through that. And he came up with that idea. We did that. We tried some shit out. He had another idea about the mixing on that stuff, and I think it just turned out really good. I really like the Fish Basket song here. Leftovers, that's another one. I don't know if it ever, I can't remember. I would have to go look on my SoundCloud, but I think this is another one that came from the alter ego Bob, aka Jeffy. That's what I called it. And this is kind of like fitting that character in a way too. Not that it's like totally separate from me. It's totally me, but it's like, you know, just like the alter ego side or whatever. I don't know. Let me double check on here. And sorry that I'm not looking at the camera too much. I'm just kind of trying to think as we go. And then just looking at the old screen here to give me ideas of what to say, you know. But yeah, Leftovers, I think that one's pretty funny. I mean, not funny, but there's so much humor in this that you might think as like not humor, but it's because maybe I delivered it and it didn't sound funny how I delivered it, but it's funny when I'm making this shit, and sometimes I make myself giggle when I come up with some of the lyrics and shit. But yeah, I don't want to talk in circles. And I'll probably make another video maybe when I'm not so tired. But I did know that it's been a while since I did one of these, and I missed you guys. Let's see. Black and Blue. That's actually more of a remix. Because we have Dal on that. And if you guys haven't heard the new version, you should go check that out for sure. I tried to clean up my voice on that to make it you understand it. And as I'm listening back to it, do I see stuff that I should have did better? Yes, but also on the to put it in more perspective, I had 20 songs that were unfinished, and once I had this idea, I locked in and just really like I spent a whole day mixing stuff, so some songs got neglected a little bit more than others, and I did rush it because I had this idea. Oh, I'm just gonna put these together and make this project. I had this idea of this project, got really excited, and I spent a whole day mixing it, like I said, and then did I spend the other? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't go to bed. I started in the morning, and I didn't go to bed till 4 in the morning, you know. And part of that was like, I think I got it uploaded by like, well, I dropped it. I fucked up on something. I had to take it off, re-drop it, give all the producers credit, all that kind of stuff. And by the time it was done, it felt like it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. And then after that, I celebrated, you know. Don't care what you say. I like that. I talk about Quite a bit of stuff. It's kind of like random sometimes, but I do like my open line where I'm saying like, um, what did I say? I remember when I started the music, um, the people they would hate it, or I can't even remember. Sorry. Lyrics do not stick in my brain. Names of songs don't stick in my brain. I mean, they do. Like after, give this about, I don't know. Give me some time to listen to this as well and enjoy it as a fan, and then I'll start remembering lyrics. But I did this fresh off. I'm doing this video pretty much fresh off the drop. Actually, the other night I was going to make a video to. I actually don't care what you say. I'm trying to make a video, leaked, but I wanted to do it so bad because I got excited. I just made the song, and this was recent because this was like a newer song. I got so excited. I was like, we have to make a video. I have this idea. I have this like whole video planned out in my head. And when I got the camera in front of me, and I'm like, I could not recite my lyrics at all. I mean, certain parts, but I'd fuck up and fuck up and fuck up. And then, me and Ashley were doing it. Ashley said, how about we just do this when you actually like remember your lyrics? And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a plan, because it would have took forever. And also the football game was going to be on, and like I think we had like 30 more minutes, and we said, we'll never get a video done anyway, let's just go, we'll call it a night. But I do want to do some kind of video for that. Balance, that's another one that's kind of like the alter ego Bob, aka Jeffy. So there is a few of those that can't, like got put in here. But that's because I actually genuinely really enjoy them, and I think they did fit the Derek Rise brand a little bit still. And it's something that I think Derek Rise fans should like hear. I didn't want it to be like hidden on some SoundCloud with 3 followers. I wanted it to be on the main page. So that's what we did. We just want to party. That turned it out to be pretty decent. I do see some flaws with it, but I really like the song. And not only that, changes that pacing up a little bit, and the beat is just too good. Small Talk, shout out to Jay Dilly. Of course, you do see Jay Dilly featured in Roll the Credits, My Day, Small Talk, Leftovers, Be Involved, and Living Right. So we have a few features from him. So let's give him a round of applause right here, because he's killed my tracks multiple times. He's gotten better lyrically. He's super good at melodies, all that kind of stuff. And he doesn't let the pressure affect him ever. Like, if I send him a song that's really good, he's not affected by the pressure. And that's like that's a good attribute to have as a rapper or a musician or an artist. Let's see. Because here's the thing, dude. If you try too hard on like writing lyrics and shit, you try it. Like, obviously you should not try. You should try, but you don't want to try too hard. And if you're overly putting pressure on yourself to hit the hardest verses you ever hit, you're just going to, your thinking brain is going to take over, and that's a downfall. You want your feeling brain to take over. You know what I mean? Music's feeling, so these lyrics do need to just kind of like get ripped out of you and just, sent to you from the universe. That's pretty much what needs to happen. Because if you're thinking, you aren't going to get the same effect, It's just how it is. Can't really explain it. But you are thinking when you're making lyrics, if that makes sense. It's not like you're not thinking. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but there is like a element of being in your flow state and shit like that. I don't know. It's beyond me, dude. when I listen to this project back, um, um, man, come on. What if I come closer here? Is it just not gonna work? All right. All right. I really hope everything is working still. What was I saying? Man. Oh yeah, I think I was talking about writing lyrics and shit. But yeah, for the most part, just go off of feeling. You do want to push yourself to get better at writing lyrics, and that's where your thinking brain turns on. But like, you might not come out with a good song though. I think you do need to like, obviously, you need to try and repeatedly try to grow your way of words, and vocab, all that kind of stuff. Ugly is beautiful. That's been in the works for a long time. This is when I was still in my other room as a studio, and this had to be a little bit, maybe a couple months after like Trying to Live or something. If you ever heard that song, I don't know, somewhere around there. But Broke Mata is featured on that. Kills his verse as always. I mean, he's a very he's very unique and very lyrical, and I love that. But oh yeah, circle back to Black and Blue because of the Dal feature. You guys definitely need to go check that out because Dal kills that shit. He literally murks it. Very, very good rap I got from him. So just a blessing. He just blessed the track. Sunfall, kind of like pull it back a little bit. I do see that. Not too happy about how I mix it because the song was supposed to be really, really, really good sounding. It doesn't sound terrible in my opinion. I'll still listen to it. And I don't think you guys should sleep on it because here's the thing. I might see something that's wrong that you guys don't. Or it's very obvious and we all see it's wrong. But that's just how it works. I could sit here and try to perfect everything, but I would drive myself crazy. My Day is another J Dilly feature. That one's a really, really good song. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't want to go too far into these. Like I said, I want you guys to check it out for yourself and really feel the vibe. There's nothing that I could say that can make you capture what you're going to feel listening to this all the way through. And I know, you got TikToks, YouTube Shorts, all that kind of stuff, attention spans. I don't want to slave to attention spans. I feel like if you can still watch movies or anything like that, then you're sitting good because, yeah, it's going to be an hour long of listening to music. But if you really just get yourself really comfortable and try to just soak it in, you'll feel the experience that, and I think it's definitely an experience you're never gonna get from a TikTok or YouTube short or anything like that. So, but yeah, we'll skip. Roll the Credits, one of my favorite songs in the project. Obviously, Roll the Credits, it ends the mixtape, and Jay Dilly's on there again. I think this is where I think Jay Dilly really truly comes into his own and brings that shine. And then also, I think me as well. I think we just did really good. I put this up there with like a Be Involved. where it's kind of the same situation there. But yeah, that's the project. So really hope you guys, check it out, give it some time, see what you like, see what you don't like, that kind of shit. But I'll probably make another video and maybe we'll talk about anything else, like something else. Maybe not this project, maybe it's just totally random. Maybe I'll do like a tier list type of thing again, or maybe we will come back and talk about this a little bit more. So, overall, I think the track or the project is gonna be, it's hazy. It's filled with like it's filled with what's that? Why do I want to say self-reflectance? Is that a word? I can't even think right now, dude. I'm not even kidding. My brain's shot right now. But it's filled with like, self-doubt, but also confidence. There's some braggadocious type stuff in there. There's also like just being vulnerable, me singing, stepping out of, the comfort zone in some of those aspects. It does have some of those haunting type vibes, as well as like some of the past music did. Some of the lyrics are kind of dark, but also there's some light spots in this. It's kind of all over the place. Overall, I would say it's still not like a super light album, or project, mixtape. But yeah, that's just, I mean, it's me. But anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna. We'll just make another video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'm still gonna drop this on there, and thank you for listening. Reach out to me if the project like has like did anything for you, and if it didn't, it's all right, But anyway, you guys have a good one. Thanks. Peace.